Well, good morning, Good Shepherd. Welcome back. And I want to cover today another attribute of God. We're covering just kind of systematically moving through as many of these as we can. This is number 4, and it is the self-existence of God. The self-existence of God. I want to read from Exodus chapter 3. When God is interacting and Moses says, what name should I tell the people? Let me read these verses. It's spectacular what God does here. Verse 13, Exodus 3. Then Moses said to God, if I come to the people, and the people of Israel say, and I say to them, the God of your father has sent me to you, and they ask me, what is his name? What should I say? God said to Moses, I am who I am. He said, say this to the people of Israel. I am has sent me to you. Now, that would have been a lot to process for Moses. God reveals his name, his being, as it were. You want to call me something? Call me the one who is self-existent. All you need to know of my name is that I am. I exist. The existence of God is proof enough in his very name to explain his power, his greatness. He is unmatched in all of creation, right? Verses in Isaiah, I am God and there is no other. I am the self-existent God. I am God and there is none like me. I declare the end from the beginning and things not yet accomplished. I call a man of purpose from the far, and I bring to pass all that I have purposed I will do. These are spectacular statements of a self-existent God. So, definition for us today. The self-existence of God means that God has no origin. He is not derived from anyone or anything else. What do you know in our world that can say that? Is there anything else that is not derived from something? Our entire universe has to answer collectively together. We are a derived universe. Even going back to the very first verse in our Bible. In the beginning, God, the great I am, the self-existent one, said, he created the heavens and the earth. So God is, and everything else is derivative from him. He is not derived. He is not from anything. He is not the substance that has resulted from some big bang or cosmic, cataclysmic explosion. God is. He always has been. He always will be. Right? The God who was and is to come. He is self-existent. And we are not, friends. It's good for us to be reminded of this. A.W. Tozer puts it this way. He said, since God is the being who is supreme over all, it follows that God cannot be elevated. Nothing is above God, and nothing is beyond him. Any motion in his direction is elevation for the creature. If you move away from him, then you descend. So he holds his position out of himself. Think of that. God is who he is in himself. And by leave of no one. No one can promote him, and no one can degrade him. He says, I am who I am. I am. That is my name. It's kind of fun sometimes in theology to think about the things that God cannot do. Here would be one. The great I am cannot not be. Okay? It is impossible for God to not exist. He is self-existent. He always has been. He always will be. He cannot go out of existence. Now, that's not something that we can say, friends. That is not something that our world can say. There are many things that cease to exist. We live in such a disposable culture, right? You buy something, probably, at Walmart, and then in just a short amount of time it's broken or it's not working, and then it's down the road. And it used to be people would try to fix things more. Now it's just about as cheap to just buy a new one. And the mindset is radically changed. God does not wear out. He is not derived from anything. He is, and He always will be. We are, as it were, kind of fading into glory. Now, we'll talk more about what that means when we think of infinitude and eternality of God, because there are some of these things that we have some connection to now as those who have been created in His image, who carry His image. That'll be down the road. So there are things that God cannot do. He is unable to not exist. And this reveals the vast difference between our Creator and all of what is created. The truth of God is that He is not greater for our being or for our existence. And he would not be less if we didn't exist. That we do exist is altogether of God's free determination, not by divine necessity. So God exists necessarily, and we exist not necessarily. We were not necessary to God. He didn't have to create us, but He did. And we're going to consider that more in the next attribute, self-sufficiency, the self-sufficiency of God. And when he asks the question, why did God create? What was it that stirred Him to create? And we'll explore that more in the next one. I want to encourage you to look up some of the scripture verses and work on these questions. And then we'll come back together here in the next video and dig together more on another glorious attribute of God. Have a great day. Worship the self-existent God. Go in peace.